Good morning, everybody. Sorry it's been about a month since you've seen me. I got us an interesting one. Maybe it'll be uneventful, maybe it will be eventful. I'm not really sure yet. But this is the car that we have today to work on in question. Toyota Camry. Chief complaint, it won't run. So let's get into it and see what we can find out. Bear with me as I get set up and I'll be back. Okay, so the vehicle in question is a 2005 Toyota Camry 2.4. We've got a decent to hot battery, 11.7 with the key on. Let's try and crank it and see what it sounds like. Oh, well, that's no fun. Just tried. So I'm gonna fire up the compressor. We're gonna air up these tires over here on this side a little bit, get them to where they roll. I'm gonna move my service truck, park it over here, and give it some good voltage and see what's going on, because that battery's definitely a little on the weak side. It's not going to keep on cranking. So one of the things I've discovered just in doing some preliminary checks, this car is way over full on oil, but I don't think it's oil. As you can see on the dipstick, it's kind of hard to see. I'll try and flip you around. It's just plumb full, and when you smell it, oh boy, it smells like fuel. And any mechanic knows you're not supposed to have fuel in the oil. That's bad. Kind of looking around in here, you see a lot of oil leakage. I don't know if it's from adding oil or what's going on. It obviously sat out in the rain for the last few days while we had a huge rainstorm. So, I mean, the bottom of the oil cap looked nice and clean. I didn't see any milkshake or nothing to alarm me. Nothing in there that really tells me we got problems. So I'm going to continue, as I said. I'm going to back this thing out, get my truck up next to it, kind of just a little bit, and feed it some voltage, and we'll go from there. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, now we feed it from my truck to it. You can see the other cables that they had. Much as they're probably alright, and they probably work, I'd feed a little bit more voltage, more amps. At the end of the day, you want good amps. So, we'll feed it. My 8.1's got plenty. I've got 2 batteries in this truck. This one runs to my second battery. So, she's got plenty of voltage to give. I won't lie, one of the things I'm worried about is that we've got low compression and or bad set of rings, cause the fuel to wash by a cylinder. But if I can get it to start, that'll definitely give me some more inklings as to what's going on with this thing. Probably got a bad battery, weak battery. water or fuel in the oil. I don't know how many miles it's got on it. I haven't really looked yet. So stay tuned. We'll keep digging. Nah, she's only got 225,000 on her. I don't know the history of this car. I don't know if that's the original motor. I don't know any of that. Alright. Let's see what happens. Let's try it. It tries. Engine immobilizer system. Boy, you smell that fuel. Scan tool's not detecting the engine, so I'm going to go through various different fuses and jump straight to transmission, and it pulls that code. Engine immobilizer system fault. Let it run through its thing. Oh, there's the engine. Boy, it's everywhere, isn't it? Alright, let's just back out of that code scan. Let's go to engine. Automatic. Codes on there. Engine immobilizer system fault. Alright, now let's go and see troubleshooter, engine, code tips. Alright. The DTC is stored when one of the following occurs. ECM detects errors in its own communication with the transponder key ECU assembly. The ECM detects errors in the communication lines. The ECU communication ID between the transponder key ECU assembly and the ECM is different when an engine start is attempted. Before troubleshooting, make sure that no transponder key ECU keys are present. If present, troubleshoot the transponder key ECU assembly DTs. Alright, so we don't have that. Alright, so why don't we try and clear that? Let's go back to our codes and we'll save that code just so that we have the data. And you're seeing all this in real time just as I'm going through the menus. Current codes. Save it. Back up. We're going to clear codes. I don't know if this is the only key. Is there a different key? I have no idea. Success. See that? It says success. Okay, so let's go back to codes only. Sorry for the lengthy video, but this is the process in which it takes going through this and waiting for these things. So it's still there. We still have it. So Huh. Alright. We'll go ahead and it's like it's getting fuel and it cuts fuel. Nope, it's still there. They ain't gonna let go of it. Okay, so boy, you smell that fuel. The car's gonna need an oil change. Because every time it gets cranked, it's dumping fuel. That's why it's full of fuel. I've been cranking this thing a lot, trying to get it to start. Either that key has lost its signal or something's gone on. I'm gonna try and reset the car's memory. Reset was completed. Nope, it's still pissed off. What all can I do? Mobilizer module. Let's see what we can get in here. Road codes only. Current codes. No communication. And a mobilizer system. Okay. What was that? A B2796? Tell you what, let's go and let's do some checks on some fuses and see what we can find there. I just want to check fuses before we go any further. We haven't done that yet. Turn on our toner. Tell you what, first, let's look in here. So we got just pedal, ignition. Probably nothing in here is going to run to that, but it's a good idea. I just go ahead and check everything I can check. So that 13.9, that tone indicates a perfect connection. Okay, so we got no voltage on either side. That's okay. What are those? That's the headlights. I am worried about the headlights. All those big guys, they look fine. Those are spares. So AC. These are the low beam headlights. So, alright. Now, I'm going to come inside the car. Excuse me, as I don't feel the best today. Let's see what we can find up in this hole. Again, hang on, first let's look. ECU B, ECU accessory, ECU ignition, power 1, power 4, power 2. There's a lot of important ones in here. Alright, so let's start the process of seeing. So we don't get crossed. Okay, those are heated mirrors. Shut down this for a second, if you don't mind. Get up to that last row. Now, one's missing. And that's for the cigarette lighter. That's a 15 amp. Don't know if that's directly affecting anything I've got going on. Everybody else has got power like they're supposed to. So, just off chance, I think I've got a 15 amp fuse we can get out of the service truck. Let's put it in there. Sometimes circuits are weird like that. They'll run off of weird power supplies. Let's see if we've got us a 15. That's a 5. That's a 10. The 10 will work as long as there's no spike in voltage. I don't know if I have a 15. I may. That's another 5. Shit. Should be a blue one. Looks like I'm all out of them. Need some more fuses, guys. Looks like I need to go wrecking yard hunting. Ha! We'll take 2 10s with us. As rule of thumb goes, I'd rather go with a lower amp fuse than what it calls for than a bigger amp, because I ain't trying to fry wiring. If it'll rock and roll on a 10 amp. Alright, got a 10 in place. Still got crank, no start. I want to see the data. Mobilizer is set. Permit start is no go. That's what NG means. Registration code space is not full. Frame air is on. Different serial number. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of research on this car. I need my phone for that, so I will be right back. So, as funny as it is, I was kind of doing some research on some different YouTube videos as to how to reset the immobilizer, and it started right up. I just left the key off for a while. Move it back into its position where it was, just in case it doesn't want to restart again. We'll let it warm up a little bit, let it run. But from what I've read, the antenna in there sometimes reads, sometimes won't. And I don't know if I did a relearn test or what I did, but I left the key in there for about 10 minutes. You have to shut the door, turn the ignition all the way off, put the key in 4 times, and then open and shut this door 6 times, and then it goes into learn mode. And as you can see, no more security light. And now there's no codes. So we're in the immobilizer. Let's go to data. Permit start is okay now. Response is okay. Still saying that both the sub key and the master key are unregistered. But I didn't really do anything different. So now that we're back in its parking spot, real time, let's see. That's 4 times I've restarted it. You can see ignition switch on and off 4 times. This is the 5th start. Off. Back on. Well, I'm gonna say that, oh, she died. Uh-oh. Now it's saying permit start, no go. Well, alright then. We'll sit here and wait for another 6 to 10 minutes and see if it switches to okay again. Alright, so we're going to try the whole relearn of a key again. I've opened the door, or pulled the key in and out 4 times. You can see those 1, 2, 3, 4 with the key switch. Open and close the door 6 times. And now we're waiting for permit start to go from no go to okay. So to wrap this up, I believe we have a horribly bad battery. The battery's got a date code of 1119. It won't hold a charge to save its life even after I gave it voltage for well over 30 minutes off of my service truck. It just won't hold. Cranked on it twice after trying to resync the key again, and it wouldn't crank long at all. So I've instructed the customer to get him a new battery, and we can kind of go from there. We may still have an issue with the transponder, but until that battery's 100% and new and has enough amps to supply this car with all the voltage it wants, I can't rule that out. So we're gonna go ahead and I am out of here. Timestamp is 12:42. Stay frosty.